Hey y'all, this is just my first video. Not sure what I'm gonna do for dinner tonight, but I have a ground chuck roast in the refrigerator that I thawed overnight, and I thought it would be really good to fix it with potatoes and corn and some green beans, some different things that I have in my refrigerator. I normally add lots of salt and some gravy mix and all kinds of canned vegetables to this, and this is the first video that I'll be shooting since I have been diagnosed with a diastolic dysfunction of my heart, and I have to watch I was hospitalized, and I have to watch my sodium levels, so I have to check all the sodium and everything I eat. Make sure I only drink 64 ounces of fluid a day, and that sucks. And so, here's my potatoes. Hope you can see my potatoes. I cut all those potatoes up from a bag of potatoes. I can eat potatoes. I'm going to have to prep all the stuff, and then I'll have to put it all in the crock pot as I calculate, just to make sure that I get what I need, how I need to get. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm sorry I haven't brushed my hair this morning, and it's only 9:15. I was going to cook breakfast, and then I said, let's just go ahead and cook dinner. So, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to grab the things that I need out of the refrigerator, and then I'll prep them and show you what I'm doing. I'll be right back. There's the corn. I just have a lone piece of corn in there. Some green beans. I bought these green beans at, where did I buy these? I bought them at Save More, which is basically just the off-brand of Ingles. And in my opinion, Ingles is too expensive. I shop at Food Line. I shopped at Ingles, and I was quite surprised. Save More. Save More is supposed to be a discounted. It's about the same prices as Ingles, if you ask me. The only thing different about it is in the meat section at Save More, they do have a very large quantity of things that you wouldn't normally eat. Like chicken feet, beef liver, calf liver, which I love. And, let's see, tongue, tripe, I know it's not oxtail, but it's some kind of bone. I don't know, but it's a lot of stuff that I've never cooked. I cook beef liver all the time. Beef liver is not the best thing in the world for me to eat, but if I want to eat it in one meal, it'll work out okay. I don't have any microphones or anything like that. Just me just shooting it virgin style in my kitchen. It is November the 9th at 9:15. My sweet little dog's over there eating. There's the one piece of corn. I'll probably have to find some corn, if I have any in a can, and see what the sodium level is. I might wash it off and use it. I might just not use it at all. It's going to be pretty limited. I'm going to go out in a little bit, and I might get some fresh vegetables to throw in here. But I have plenty of time because it's early in the morning. This can cook all day. I'm going to wash my knife. We are just getting over all the flooding from Helene. We did pretty good. But I was out of work for a little while because of it. And then went back to work. And then got sick. Stayed home for a few days. And then I was hospitalized. I went to the doctor because I didn't feel good. They sent me to have labs taken. And then the next morning he called me and said, I need you to go to the ER immediately. And so I tried to say, hey, can I just wait? I really don't want to go today. can I take the prednisone you gave me and not worry about it? And he said, no, you need to go now. Now I know why. My sodium level was down very, 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 very low. Almost like death, brain damage. So I did go, and I do appreciate that doctor. He saved my life. But then when I got out of the hospital after 4 days, my whole life had changed because they found this heart issue that I had going on. And I know I always had a mitral valve prolapse, but I never had a thought that there was really something wrong with my heart other than I had high blood pressure. Now, having high blood pressure does cause all those issues, so you have to eat healthy. And I've cooked all my life, but I've just become real lazy because I work so much. My husband's disabled, that I have always used canned foods, and it's cheaper because you can get them from a food pantry if you don't have any money. And I only work part-time. But all of these things were on sale. And these green beans aren't bad. For $1.99 for fresh green beans. I'm not real sure how I need to prepare them. I think I'm just going to cut them up. Maybe I'm supposed to snap them like you do when you with your mama on the front porch like this. I'm going to do it like that. That'll probably take a long time, so I might throw all these in here and do those in a little bit while I got some other stuff going on. And I'm just going to get my roast and throw it in there. Get some more green beans. Let me get a Ziploc bag to put the rest of these green beans in because we're not going to eat that many. That's how many I'm going to throw in there. It's just me and my husband that are going to eat. So let me grab a bag real quick. So how are y'all today? Are y'all up and early, and did you fix you something to eat for breakfast? Well, I was going to eat an egg. 2 eggs probably. With cheese and some onions. And then I've been up since 5 o'clock. Ever since I was in the hospital, I was always up all night because they'd come in there every freaking hour and take my vitals, and most of the time they'd take blood. And I just got to where whenever someone would come in, I wouldn't even get my head out of the covers. I'd be covered up like this, but I'd get my arm and pull it way up, flop it on my side. They'd come over and they'd take my blood, and they'd always take it in my veins. You can see where, well, this one's still bruised. I don't know if you can see that one, probably not. But this one, they blew this one a few days after I was at the hospital trying to get blood. I said my veins were just all to hell. I was like, oh, well, no wonder. I used to hate needles. Now, they don't hurt at all. I'm just like, go for it. I mean, they were just in the doctor's office going back for labs after the follow-up. They were just digging in there, and I was like, she was like, I'm so sorry, am I hurting you? And I said, nope, not it. Just find the vein. Do you want to get somebody else? So somebody else came in, and she was like, oh, God, this is going to be rough. So she got it, and she goes, you okay? And I said, yes, I'm fine. Just find the vein. She found it, and she was like, you're a trooper. And I said, it don't hurt, honey. I've been pricked on long enough, so not cool. So I've got my green beans that I'm going to keep. Going to put them in the freezer. And then I'm going to get my roast. Which I got this roast for pretty cheap. Actually, it wasn't real cheap, but it was at Sam's. And it was like right after I got out of the hospital. And I could find out, well, you know, on a low sodium diet, just about everything they want you to eat, the healthiest thing for you to eat is fish. And do you know what I hate? I hate fish. I like Long John Silver's, not healthy. And we eat some fish here. I like trout. If you're camping, I'm from Western North Carolina, here in Candler, North Carolina. If you're camping, I like to go to Sunburst, North Carolina. and camp there. And if I catch a trout there, or my husband catches a trout there, it's always a tradition. If you catch a trout, you got to cook it on the fire. And you eat it. And you cook the whole thing. You gut it, and then you cook it whole with potatoes, onions, whatever you want to eat for the night in a big full packet. And that's going to be your dinner. Now, we get sides because a lot of people hate bones. And I even hate the bones. So most of the time we eat steak that we bought from home, and then we have that trout. And it's mostly just picking at the trout. We do enjoy it, but the bones get old. So, let me wash my hands real quick. My husband's gone to Knoxville today with his friend, and I guess they're looking for a camper. He lives in a trailer he's got to move out of because the guy's selling it to, well, I don't know if he's selling it or giving it to his daughter. I don't really know. I didn't ask. It's not my business. But there's me roost. I'm going to take this and put it in my crock pot. But they went to Knoxville to look at a camper. Now, Mike's always going to look at campers and buy guns. Mike does not hunt. I don't know why he buys guns. He's, for the past year, collected guns like a crazy person. And now he's going, and he doesn't really go anywhere local. Every time he goes somewhere, he goes 2 or 3 hours away. And I always make fun of him and tell him, hey, why the heck do you go so far away? And not my business. So my husband said Mike was going, and Mike wanted to know if he'd go with him. And I said, yeah, that'd be nice. I have seen nothing but my husband since he's disabled and I was in the hospital. Nothing but my husband 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a very long time. So I don't care. I'm used to seeing him. I don't mind. But I also like alone time. Everybody does. Everybody needs it. Well, I'm not going to cook these potatoes right now with that meat, but I am going to soak them in water so they don't turn color. And this is the cutest little strainer. I got it off of Temu. It's so funny. It looks like a hat. It looks like a little construction hat. But it's a, let me show you. It's a colander on one end and a bowl on that end. So you can fill your stuff up and just leave it like that. And then when you're ready, just strain it off to the side. But that's not really folded up enough. So I'm just going to find a different bowl. You're sitting on it. So let me get a different bowl. I didn't have any planning on this. I just was like, dang, I have never made a video on YouTube. And I see lots of people trying to make videos on YouTube. But the problem is I'm never, ever alone. And so when I'm making a video, I always get interrupted by someone. It's usually someone coming in on the phone, and it's usually rated R. Or the dog constantly, you know, she's usually in here while I'm preparing food up behind, jumping on me, trying to get stuff off the floor, off the counter, or just have me give it to her. The only thing that I'm going to put in this, I put Mrs. Dash, and I can put any of the spices that I want to in anything, just not salt. Anything that includes salt, I can't have. But I found Mrs. Dash. This is like the stuff, they didn't serve it at Advent Hospital, which is where I was at. But they have it at Memorial Mission Hospital. And it's the seasoning they give for people with heart disease. So I found some. And the sweet man at Food Line helped me shop the other day. Because he was seeing me and my husband look at the back of everything. And wanted to know what we were looking for. And I said, well, it's nothing spectacular. And I explained to him my situation, and he said, let me help you. And he went and got what I asked for. I said, well, I couldn't find any mandarin oranges, so I left them. And he said, well, let me go find them. He came to me and he said, I got these 2 cans. Do you want them both? And I said, sure, put them both in the buggy. I appreciate that. He said, what else do you need? And I said, I'm trying to find a salt substitute besides no salt. Because no salt is straight up potassium. Too much potassium for your heart is also not good. So, he said, Let me help you find that. So we looked and looked and looked, and he went over there and stood, and he goes, and he kept looking, and I looked straight in front of him. I said, it's that. It's Mrs. Dash. And he said, yes. What else do you need? And I was like, seriously, you're like my personal shopper. And so he kind of helped me through the day. So I thought it was pretty cool. So let me find my pepper. I lost my pepper. I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's behind you. Let me change you out with salt. That's what I should have done to begin with, idiot. Ah. Well, this is just going to be a really short video, and then I guess I'll add to it later. I don't even know how I'm going to download it. But, pepper. And so I'm going to have green beans and potatoes. I like peas and I like carrots, but oh man, I should have some carrots somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I can use any of the canned stuff I have vegetable-wise because all of them are terrible. But you'd be surprised what I can have. I can have Cool Whip. All the Cool Whip I want to. Isn't that a bonus? Hold on just a second. Oh, mushrooms. I have mushrooms. And raw onions. That's always good. I have a lot of mushrooms. I made stuffed mushrooms the other day. Not the best in the world for me to eat, but my husband wanted some. And I told him, yeah, I'll fix you some. And then I will take the mushrooms, because I can eat the mushrooms that are left over, the pieces. And I had a big container of them. All the little butts that you dig out of the hole. I had a whole thing of them, but I froze them, so they're in the freezer. But I have this little container from the other night. And I am going to throw that in there and use all of these leftovers. Last night I had leftovers with some steak we cooked, some chicken that I put. This was fresh out of the hospital. I don't know why. I was so stupid. Really, really stupid. I put extra virgin olive oil on chicken so he could cook it on the grill. Do you know that extra virgin olive oil is not a high temperature oil? So his grill caught fire all along with the chicken. And I think the outside of the chicken, the outside of the grill, I'm going to probably, I mean, he said he's going to do it, but I don't know. I'm going to probably sometime, if he doesn't do it, I'm going to get out there with a scrub brush and scrub the outside of it, because it was a relatively new grill that I bought used from somebody for 20 bucks. And it was almost new, and now it looks like crap because the whole top of the silver stainless steel or whatever is black. And I was like, guess what? The next day, I was like, you can't use that for high temperature because it'll catch fire. He was like, now you tell me. I was like, I'm so sorry. But I think that's all that I have out of the refrigerator. This has caramelized onions. We can't eat grape jelly. I've used the onions. I got the green beans. I've got a snap. What else? What else do y'all think I could use? Not cabbage. What do you think about peppers? I don't know about these peppers. I like eating them raw, and they're good for me. Ta-da! Not really in a traditional roast. I have to do the safety check of my green beans. There was hair in it. I didn't put any makeup on yet. Barely done my hair. All I did was sew this ugly flannel shirt on. So, I was going to go to the Humane Alliance today, but they don't open till 10, so it's almost 9:30, so I guess I better get ready and go do that, because I need to get some food for my animals. Because I didn't know when I went in the hospital that I was going to take my vacation all my vacation time that I had from I work at Home Depot, I had 28 hours. I had to give all that up just to get paid. And then all of my paid time off I used while I was sick. And then a couple of days while I was sick at home. And then when I was released from the hospital, they gave me, it was November the 1st, so they gave me 2 more hours of paid time off because I get 2 every month because I'm part-time. And so they gave me 2 hours. And then when the Human Resources called and asked me, she said, this isn't an option for you or anything. And there's really nothing you can say about it, but you, my dear, are on leave, okay, until you get better. We don't know what's all going on. We don't care. You've been in the hospital. We understand. You've been talking to Elsa, who's one of my friends and one of the employees there, and said, she probably told him some things that I was going through. But she said, you don't have an option. We want you to be well. So I was just like, well, okay. So then, the guy was rolling me out, and I said, well, this really sucks. I had to use all my vacation time and didn't go anywhere but here. Then I used my paid time off, and then I don't have a job. So, trying to save all the money I can and do everything I can. I do have some insurance stuff that I have to go through all these hoops and stuff for that I paid for. And then I have a critical illness package that I would get $10,000 from if I had a heart attack, a stroke, or cancer. I haven't had those yet. Cancer, I'm not going to have. I've already went through all the tests with breast, everything. And I'm cancer-free from as far as I know. Heart-wise, stroke, heart attack, any day. But my particular disease, there's like a list of like 60. And then there's some. It's not specifically worded on there. So I have to talk to the doctors and get a specific diagnosis. I have this chest monitor that I have to wear. I hope I don't freak you out, but it's right there. It is $400 just, I said installation. That's like a washing machine. It's application. Just to have it applied to my body is $400. And on the 15th, I have to return it. I go to the doctor on December the 9th, and they tell me exactly what it says. Now, if I feel bad, and I do a lot of times in the middle of the night, and then you get up and you hit it, and a lot of people are worried about if they hug me, they're going to hit it. And I'm like, you ain't got to worry about that. Not even with the dog jumping on me. I mean, you really have to hit your finger in the middle of this and really push down and hit that button. When I hit the button, I have to log where I was at, what time it was, what day it was, what I was doing, and what I felt like. And, most of the time it's in the middle of the night, so that sucks. But, and then they're going to tell me exactly what they need to do. But it's a dysfunction. It's one of the chambers in my heart where they go, mine goes, and it never shuts up. And so then it causes it to fill with some fluids and it bulges. And if that bulge bursts, then it goes, and I bleed out. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So, I'm sorry I'm saying so a lot. This is the first time I've ever done this. But that's about really it. If y'all could just keep me in your prayers, I'd appreciate it. And I hope later I'll be able to come back and show you my roast once it's finished. If not, I'll take a picture of it, post it. I don't really know how it works, but we'll see how I do it. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all have a good day. And just remember that life is very short. So, keep your loved ones close. All right. Bye.